Welcome to the Business of Black Business, a weekly talk show that interviews Black entrepreneurs and advocates for Black businesses. Our topics include access to capital, best business practices, success stories, and more. Now introducing our host, Jay Reynolds.
Hi, and welcome to another installment of the Business of Black Business. Now, I got to tell you, for far too long, Black residents in Miami-Dade County have experienced socio-economic disparities that really impact their lives. Today, we get to talk to two thought leaders that are working to correct this. So please tune in. Again, my name is Jay Reynolds. I own and operate WolfCreek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing firm, but this is the Business of Black Business. And it's a show designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be Black entrepreneurs scale and grow their business. It's also an opportunity to gain access to very successful business owners and thought leaders to hear how they did it, as well as be able to understand some of the things that are happening in our neighborhood and some of the things that we can do in order to increase or improve the quality of our lives. So with that being said, I want you to meet Ms. Gail Birks, the CEO of CMA Enterprises, and Mr. Bill Diggs of MDEAT, Miami-Dade Advocacy Trust. Almost household words in this neighborhood. How are you guys in this community?
Great.
How are you guys?
Great.
Doing well, Jay. Always good to see you. Thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, thank you you guys are both very busy people. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And certainly it's an opportunity for us to improve the lives of the people around us. Bill, I'm going to start with you. You have a fairly successful group that basically has done a lot to improve the lives of the community in Miami-Dade. But tell us a little, for the people that don't know you and don't know your operation, why don't you talk about MDEAT's, your mission, and the role that you play as far as economic development is concerned?
Sure. Well, I think you said it best. The Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust sees itself as the go-to organization for economic development in the Black community in Miami-Dade County. We are a one-of-a-kind organization where our focus is squarely on the improvement of life, socioeconomic, within the Black diaspora, right? And we were founded over 40 years ago during a really difficult riot that took place where Arthur McDuffie, an insurance agent, was shot and killed. And the community got together and realized that in Miami-Dade County, there were two separate and unequal communities. And so the county commission, along with, the mayor at the time, said, we need to do something to fix this. And so our organization was created. It's gone through its changes. It started out as MAP, the Metropolitan Miami Action Plan Trust. And some years ago, Audrey Edmondson, attempted to and did and upgraded our organization to what is called today the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. And so, we are an ordinanced organization. We were created by an ordinance. And our goal is simply that. It's a lofty goal. Needless to say, we call ourselves a little engine that could.
Yeah.
And we're funded by Miami-Dade County and a couple other different pieces that come in to kind of help to make up who we are.
I got to tell you, Bill, it really warms my heart to see some of the things that you guys do as it relates to incubating up and coming businesses, right? To basically give these guys grants, not loans, grants. Right. where that allow them to basically scale and grow their business. And I got to tell you, to the extent that, that happens in our community is to the extent that we are able to generate to real generational wealth or create generational wealth. Ms. Birks, you wear a lot of hats, right? I know you do. You have a lot of hats and you do a lot of things. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your business, people that don't know you, CMA Enterprises, and some of the things that you're looking to accomplish.
Yeah, well, CMA Enterprise has been around for 33 years, and we're longer than some people have been walking this planet.
Of course.
And we specialize. We're a boutique consulting firm that does consulting in the areas of performance and process improvement, advisory services where we advise people like the Bill Diggs in the business and industry sectors across the country. We have a virtual and online and in-person training company that is a cut above many. We provide global certifications. We do very specific services that bring people full service so that they can enjoy sustainable success in the mainstream, regardless of their size or business or product that they offer. And it's been a phenomenal journey. I'm not going to tell you it's been easy, but
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
Yes, never is.
Certainly learn from the lessons out of those situations.
Well, I got to tell you, Gail, I've known you for a long time, and I consider you a friend and a mentor. I think I even have a yellow belt or something like that from one of your certifications. So I do know that you absolutely make a difference. Let's dive into this a little bit. Bill, start with you. Tell me a little bit about why you guys decided in utilizing Gail Services to conduct this disparity study at this time. And what's the primary goal of you guys doing this? You know, I hear all the times about people conducting disparity studies, and then you do this and it sits on a shelf somewhere. I know that's not your plan. I would really like to understand where you're headed with this and why you decided to do it.
Well, I'll start with the end in mind. The reason that Gail Birks is our partner is because of what you just said. She's known for creating plans that are actionable and that live and breathe. So the idea, and I've known Gail, like you said, for over 20 years myself, and we've partnered on things at the Miami-Dade Chamber, in a previous life. And so this is not about a traditional disparity study. Now, let me say this: as a part of who we are as an organization, the Miami-Dade County Commission said that every 10 years ye shall do a disparity study, right? And so we know that from an ordinance perspective, we're doing that now. And we're a little bit late. I started with the organization a little over a year and a half ago. And prior to me coming here, that was one of the things that they weren't able to complete. And so, we picked up the mantle to do that. And so consequently, we decided to go with an organization that has boots on the ground, that understand the difference between, the white grove and the black grove, right? Because truth be known, we know that they are different. We
it's
know
a great way to put that. I got
right?
you.
There's a massive difference between Wynwood and Overtown, and everybody doesn't know that. And so we needed to have an organization that understands from a traditional perspective in regards to what Miami looked like when Black folk were truly growing at a particular pace. And so we set out on this study to do something a little bit different. And the reason why is because Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust is going to launch a new, preeminent strategic plan based on the outcome of this plan. And so we created this model with the idea that this disparity study would morph into something like that, but you have to do that with the end in mind, right? We didn't want a traditional study that takes a look at analytics and says, Black folk are having a hard time, without kind of being solution oriented. And so what we are doing now is going through these listening tours, where we're listening to people in our community about what they think of the issues, and so we're talking to thought leaders, but we're talking to the everyday walking and talking Black person that lives in our community to help to understand what they feel their issues and their pressures are. And then we're going to right size, our organization to hopefully fit that, so that as we go into the next millennium, then we've done the right thing, which is to at least give it a really good shot, understanding what the needs of our community are.
I got to tell you that's huge.
Let me jump in on that as well.
But before we do that, Gail, unfortunately, we have to take a small commercial break, right? Hold that thought. I want to take just a couple seconds to pay the bills. Let's come back and let's drill down into that, because I really want to get your perspective as well. But we're going to come right back and we'll drill right back down into it. Okay?
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
My Miami, it's a one-of-a-kind combination of bold, vibrant art that's made to be free, to go on stages, walls, or become them. It all leads me to a world filled with warm waters and extraordinary trails. This is when I'm at my best, when I'm embracing my art venture side. This is my Miami. What's yours?
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Black-owned businesses have been the backbone of our community for many years, serving in sectors ranging from healthcare to security, business support, and professional services. I'm asking you to invest in and support Black-owned businesses. Doing so creates more jobs, expands our economy, and makes Miami-Dade County a stronger, more diverse, and prosperous community for everyone.
Find out more information at miamidade.gov/Black-owned business.
Cool. Welcome back. And I got to tell you, Gail, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because I really want to get your thoughts about that as well as we drill down into that and we talk about what you guys are hoping to accomplish through these listening sessions.
Yeah, well, it's not just the listening sessions, but what I was going to chime in on as Bill was speaking once he finished his comments is that we're bringing to Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust a different angle to disparity studies. Most of the ones you see out there are solely about procurement. They don't deal with the quality of life aspects that people in the Black and Black diaspora communities are experiencing. Their housing, their health and wellness, their community services that they need, the education. So our study is bringing these kind of aspects to you. We're also talking to service providers who are struggling as well in being able to serve these communities and the community at large. So you're going to see a different type of disparity study. And one of the things that we look at, people always ask us about, well, how many people are you going to have at these sessions? Well, if we have one, if we have 100, if we have 5, or if we have 50, if we get the right conversation going with the right people, we're going to get the information that we need. And it's really important to us that the community trusts us. The fact that we're a local firm, the fact that we are intricately involved in not only Miami-Dade County, but South Florida, has been an advantage to us as opposed to people who come in from out of town, cost 3 times as much, and don't have the trust of the community and don't care if it is implemented or not.
Well, I will tell you this, Gail. I mean, you guys, both of you guys are highly credible in this community. Highly credible in this community. I guess for me is a thing about, yes, I do understand the fact that you guys are about to create something that heretofore hadn't been done before, right? Or a disparity study of its kind, probably first of its kind. But what do you plan to do with it? And I know you alluded to it a little bit before, But why don't you drill down into that a little bit more and tell people what they can expect as you learn, get this information, you get this learning. How are you going to turn it into something that's actionable, like Bill was talking about earlier on in the conversation? And either one of you guys can take that question, whichever.
I'll defer to Bill because right now we're doing the phase 2, which is this community engagement. So I'll defer to Bill.
Okay, got you.
Well, Jay, like I said earlier, one of the things you've got to understand, I mean, the Miami-Dade County you see today, because of the real uptick in economic prosperity among all of the races, Hispanic in particular, and then white in general, the pushing out of the Black worker in regards to housing, the education of our children, as it needs to be to compete in the global environment, the pressure to be able to speak Spanish where it wasn't there before. All those things are going to help to shape what we need to look like to become more viable and pliable as an organization. We are the Allied Services Organization of Miami-Dade County, and we have a deep and abiding relationship with Mayor Cava and the rest of my leadership team. My peers are the directors of all the different departments. We have a housing unit, right? We have an organization that used to be called Teen Court, now it's called Youth Services. Our housing used to just be a down payment assistance program. And now we do grants we're actually what we call forgivable loans for rehabilitation of homes in the Black community. Where before you came to us and we can give you up to, $12,000, $14,000 for down payment for a house. Well, in this time period, we've increased that to $28,500 for down payment assistance. But we also work with other agencies. But here's the difference. That one program is an agnostic program. It's for anybody in Dade County that wants to come to us, for assistance. But we realize that with gentrification, many of the elderly Black people in our communities have homes that are that are in disrepair. Mm-hmm. So we now created a program to rehabilitate those homes in the urban core because we focus on the targeted urban areas. So when Gail talks about riding around this town, taking a look at just the architecture and the construction of the homes and looking at the devastation that is taking place in our communities, we're going to be hyper-focused on that because their report is going to help us to understand what the value of that is. Because this team is not just analytical people who are doing disparity studies. They are being guided by disparity study thought, because at the end of the day, our program is qualitative and quantitative. But the idea from a long-term perspective is to understand what we need to do to improve. We want these Black professionals to be able to come back home to mom and daddy's house, right? And so we can give you through one of our new programs up to $50,000 to repair your home. Right. And it is a forgivable loan, which basically means as long as you stay in the house for 7 to 10 years, you don't have to get the money back. Now, imagine if you've got a home that sits on a 1/4 acre lot and in Miami, Florida, it's worth $250,000, but it's got all this disrepair and you can't get the money out of it because of a lot of different reasons. We come to you with a grant program. We improve your house by spending this $50,000. Next thing you know, your equity goes up, which means you're creating Black wealth. Right. And not only the equity goes up, but you maintain the opportunity to hang on to it, like the point that you're making. And then that's really what I see more than anything else with the whole gentrification thing, is that folks can't afford to hang on to these homes and pass them down through their family members purely because of the disrepair and the fact that it becomes a lot more, let's call it attractive short term to get rid of that property versus rehabbing it. So I really, really see that as an opportunity for us to hang on to our traditional, our historic neighborhoods because people can afford to live there now if they can actually rehab them.
And Jay, I think that this organization has got a treasure in having Bill Diggs at the helm. Because I'm not just saying it because he's on the screen. No,
I know. Yeah. He's a good man. He's a good man, and he's a good Omega man on top of all of that. So he's a good guy.
But there's a visionary that comes with that pulls not only this organization but the Black community into the mainstream. CMA Enterprise sits in the mainstream. So when we bring our consultancy and advisory into an organization like an MDEAT, we are bringing those mainstream concepts. And one of the things that we're doing is and you'll see it in the report, is that we're bringing a parallel study for rising up, not only for the organization, but for the community it serves. So there's a theme of readiness that you'll read into our report. And it's not something that you see most often in these kinds of disparity studies. And we've been doing this for 33 years in the studies that we have done for organizations and communities. It is status quo for us when we come out with these kinds of studies.
Before we go to commercial break, we have just a short, if I could get a short answer about this, where do you see the expansion of this relationship between CMA and MDEAT?
Oh, very simple. I mean, listen, you can't have somebody put the car on the track, and build a roadmap and not ask her to take you down the street, right?
Right.
So this is the beginning of what I think is a very rich opportunity for us to learn about all of it. I mean, because they have a skill set that we don't have in our office, and that's why we went out to do this outside. I mean, there are architects, there are accountants, there are business people that understand strategic planning, where that is of a huge use to us as an organization for us to be able to grow.
Wow, that's actually, it's refreshing to hear that it's not just going to be a flash in the pan and it disappears, but you have a more strategic and very intentional plan so that you guys can continue to grow this learning. I think that's really, really amazing and encouraging. We're going to have to go to commercial break here for 1 second. We're going to come back and we'll wrap up. But hey, stay tuned. And when we come back, we're going to talk about expansion and what you guys see yourself doing next. Okay? 1 second.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
The contributions Black-owned businesses have made to our community are immeasurable, creating over 12,000 jobs and generating more than $2.3 billion in sales annually into our local economy. The Support Black-Owned Business 305 campaign helps these businesses gain access to capital, training, and resources to help them thrive.
Find out more information at miamidade.gov/black-owned business.
Back and Gail, I have a couple of questions about previous sessions that you've done. And I don't know, and quite frankly, I'm asking this question in the blind because I don't know whether or not you've done these kind of sessions before, or you basically building them now. In previous listening sessions and research, what have you uncovered? And give us some examples of what we can expect. Some insight.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of fear and exhaustion that's in the Black community right now.
Yeah.
Because people feel that they are being forced out, and it's blatant.
But it's real. It's not like there's a fear. It's not like they believe it. It's absolutely happening. All you got to do is just drive down the street.
And our children, we did a huge youth summit in South Dade, and our children are exhausted, and they haven't even reached full adulthood yet. And they're exhausted at the fact that the curriculums aren't tailored to their culture, and they're not stimulating. The discipline in the schools for Black students is so much more excessive than their white and Hispanic counterparts. You're seeing.
Well, I got to tell you, Bill and Gail, Gail and Bill, ladies first. There's nothing more important than what you guys are doing. I really, really personally appreciate what you're doing because you're absolutely saving and changing lives, right? So although it's going to be it's a difficult road, don't forget the fact that you guys are making a serious impact on our communities long term. So with that being said, I'm out of time. We could do this I could talk to you guys for another hour, but we're out of time. This is the Business of Black Business. Thanks, Legacy Magazine, for making this important. Thanks, Gail and Bill, again, for all you guys do, and keep up the good work. I always say that if it is to be, it's up to me, and you guys obviously feel exactly the same way. So this is the Business of Black Business. Tune in next week. We get to do this again.